Hey, I'm Higginbotham, and welcome back to our 5-part series on cognitive distortions. So we identified in part 1 that a cognitive distortion is basically a thinking error. With that being kept in mind, we're going to look at 4, 5, and 6 in regards to our cognitive distortions. So number 4 is going to be minimizing. So minimizing, I used to do a lot of work in a detox facility, and one of the words that they used a lot was, well, they're minimizing. So minimizing means making something smaller so it fits. So when we're minimizing this, they would come in and they might say, oh, I only drink a pint a day. And they might be drinking a fifth a day. They might say, I'm only using 20 milligrams of this when they're really using 40 milligrams. Maybe they're using a lot more. Maybe they're using different things. Maybe they're saying, oh, well, I only smoke weed. I only do this. It's really not that bad because I didn't get in trouble. I don't have any DWIs. I never went to jail. I never did this. I never did that. Those types of things are minimizing their specific issue so it fits their specific perspective. So when you minimize, you're not looking at things accurately, you just want to edit it to fit into your perspective. And that is number 4 in regards to our cognitive distortions. So after that, we've got number 5, and that is emotional reasoning. So emotional reasoning, emotional has to do with our feelings, and reasoning has to do with the meaning that we put on it. So defined what this means is because I feel this way, it has to be true. How do we put that into practice? So let's say that you have a certain situation and let's come up with you feel extreme anxiety when you walk into Walmart because you think something terrible is going to happen. Well, if you utilize emotional reasoning, every time you feel anxiety, you think something bad's going to happen, you believe that to be true. Well, I feel really anxious and something bad's going to happen. It has to be this way. It has to be true. And that's emotional reasoning. Now, coming in and challenging that, well, I'm anxious because of this. It's social anxiety. I feel this way because of this, because this thing happened at this one time. This bad thing happened at this specific time. Unfortunately, when bad things happen, trauma comes into our brain and it leaves a lasting impression. And a lot of times we only remember the bad things instead of the good things, which actually segues me into number 6, which is called mental filter. So a mental filter is, mental has to do with thinking, and a filter is something that takes out certain parts of something so other things come through. Let's look at a coffee filter. So a coffee filter uses ground up coffee beans, you put water in it, and then the water in the beans, or the granules, or whatever it is they use to make coffee, it mixes up and then it drips down into a pot, and you get the benefit of drinking the coffee without all the actual stuff that's supposed to be in there. That's the benefit of a filter, and they're absolutely useful. An air filter filters out all the bad stuff and the toxins, and it helps you breathe clean air. These things are really important. Now, a mental filter takes out certain aspects that you don't want in there so you can have your perspective, so you can edit a specific perspective. That's the usefulness of a mental filter. And unfortunately, it's a cognitive distortion not to look at the whole picture and just to take out the portions that you want in there. Like we talked about last time with emotional reasoning, looking at only certain aspects of things because you want a specific outcome. I see this a lot in relationships too. Say that they've done maybe 1 or 2 things that maybe they shouldn't have done, but they've done hundreds and hundreds of really great things, aside from deal breakers, of course. Focusing on those 1 or 2 things and believing that they are a specific type of person by using a mental filter probably isn't the wisest thing to do. So those are cognitive distortions 4, 5, and 6.